channel. I'm just out for a really steady run in the Cotswolds. So post British Champs on Sunday. It's Louise's birthday this week, so we've come to Stow on the Wold Monday to Friday, so it's actually her birthday today, but she's not feeling 100%, so I wasn't going to train today, but as she's not feeling great, I did a bike session this morning and out for a steady run this evening, and we'll hopefully be out and about tomorrow. So just thought I'd do a bit of a race recap. If you remember from my last video, after Powerman I had a couple of weeks off, and then I've had a few easy weeks training and just sort of gotten back into the sessions the last couple of weeks, but with tapers and everything else, wasn't really sure how last week was going to go. So just bear with me whilst I so I wasn't 100% sure how the race was going to go, whether I'd come in with a bit of fresh legs and I'd be alright, or whether I'd just missing a bit of the pace. So yeah, the race was at Oulton Park, so I've raced there a few times over the years, so I've got a good sense of sort of if I'm going well or not, because I've raced there quite a bit. So first run, it's always pretty quick. There's a bit of a downhill start as well at Oulton, so you always find the first mile and the first K exceptionally quick with a bit of a downhill start. So so went off, tried to go off. I didn't get on the front line on the start. I sat a little bit off the pack and on the second row, which I don't know whether is a good or bad thing, because you do lose a little bit of ground, I think, starting second row, but there's some real quick boys there. So yeah, so first mile wasn't too bad. I'm not sure on the pacings, I haven't got my stuff with me at the moment, so but felt pretty good. The weather was absolutely horrific, more so on the bike, but it wasn't great on the run either. So I actually wore my thermal undergarment, my hooks and one, so just to keep me a bit warmer. But yeah, I went through the first one, tried to get in a bit of a pack. It's a difficult one. I always find I end up missing a group and then always end up sitting on the front of another group. So I need to learn probably just to either try and go with the quick guys and get on the back, or just once I'm falling off, just to maybe just hit it back a little bit, touch back, and just maybe sit in the pack a little bit. So I felt like the first lap I was running quite a bit on my own, although I probably wasn't, had a couple of people around me. And then into the second lap, just didn't have the snap in my legs. Just didn't feel as fluid as normal. I think a couple of weeks back into training properly and maybe not got that speed in the legs. I haven't really done that much run racing through the summer. I've done a few duathlons and things like that, but not had that out and out sort of run speed from racing. So in the end, yeah, I think I was outside 30 minutes for the first run. I have gone sub 30 there before, and I think I actually went quicker in April on the run, but I was coming off some good run form then, off the 6-stage relays, and I'd done a 5k as well earlier on that year, and I think coming into that race I'd also been able to get down to the track and do a bit of a track session, so I was probably in better run form. So the run was a little bit outside, came into T1, hoping for a quick transition, got the helmet on, got the shoes on, but it's pretty windy, and coming out of T1, gust of winds took the bike. I was holding the saddle and knocked the bike into my legs. I caught it the first time with a bit of a stumble, held onto the saddle again and ran off, but the second bit of wind hit me again and actually knocked me for 6, grazed all the knee, some cuts nice and on the feet, because obviously I wasn't wearing my shoes at that point, so that was not ideal. I mean, also with the fall as well, lost the chain, so ended up having to resit the chain and sort of sort myself out a little bit and get myself into a good headspace. And get myself into a good headspace. I always hate these gates. If you have a look, I always think about pulling this, and actually I need to pull this. It's like Crystal Maze. So I probably lost, looking at my transitions to what I normally do there, 20 to 30 seconds on the, and then coming out then straight onto the bike, I was a little bit just trying to get my feet into the shoes, and I didn't have a good first sort of few hundred meters on the bike, just trying to sort myself out really. So not the best transition. I reckon I would have lost 30 odd seconds on that altogether, if not a little bit more, but got onto the bike and needed to do a bit of work. So the weather was horrific, but I've got this new Rudy Project helmet, and luckily the visor at least doesn't mist up, because it's a bit of a wider helmet and it feels like the visor's further away from your face. So unlike my casque helmet I've previously had, I did leave the visor on, but it was a little bit difficult to see at times. Hindsight, probably might have been better off without it, but I managed okay and sort of got my head down and worked hard, and caught quite a few people up on the first sort of few laps really. There's a guy that was with me off the run, and he'd sort of come past me out of transition, and after about 15 minutes I got by him and managed to put quite a bit of time into him in the end. But yeah, the bike, 9 laps, just under 24 mile. Actually, considering the wind and the conditions, it's the fastest split I've done on the course. I'll put the split up, but it was I think it was a very low 55. But last April, May, I did a 25.2 average, which is the first time I'd hit 25 mile an hour on there, or any duathlon, and I went 25.9 yesterday, on Sunday, sorry. So I reckon I could have gone 26 without a bit of a mishap and a sort of a slow start to the race. Yeah, so I think probably would have gone 26 mile an hour with a little bit of a bad start to the race, but all in all 0.7 mile an hour quicker in those conditions. I was really pleased with. So coming into T2, I've been, after Powerman I was really struggling with the running on the quads, seizing up and stuff like that. I think it's downhills that just affect me. It didn't feel too bad coming off the bike, even though I'd ridden pretty hard. So the T2 was pretty good. Struggled to get the shoe on a little bit. Next time I might take a couple of pairs of shoes and just wear a different pair for the second run, but probably not the quickest transitions on both areas, but good to get through safely and not have any more mishaps like I did on the first transition. I actually went and held the handlebars on the T2 rather than just the saddle, which stopped it from blowing around a lot more. So something to learn for next time when it's windy, not to just run holding the saddle, especially with the tri-spoke on the front. It just grabs the air a bit more than maybe a deep dish spoked wheel. Coming out of T2, I felt okay, just not got the pace. About half mile in I got caught by one guy. I think I got up to about 12th after the bike. So I lost a couple of places on the final run. About halfway through, dropped from 12th down to about 14th, with someone sort of closing in, but managed to find a bit on the last sort of mile or so, and just picked up the pace, or felt like I was holding the pace, maybe more so than picking up the pace, which was good. And ended up finishing 14th in the end, which was a good result overall. I think I finished 12th, I think, before, or maybe a bit higher, but that's the quickest I've gone on that course, mainly down to the bike split being nearly 2 minutes quicker than what I was at April-May time, which is fantastic, and just a little bit slower on the runs, but I think it was just outside of 1:45 on that course, which for me, really pleased with. I should go sub 1:45 without the stumbles and the falling over. In reality, I reckon with my run splits from April, if I can get a good bike split like I did, I should go 1:43 on that course, I reckon. And I've still got a few more improvements to make on the bike as well, so I think 30 seconds I lost on the runs compared to earlier on in the year, 30-second on the transitions, and that's a minute, so I reckon I should go 1:43 something. But yeah, so all in all, pretty good run and ride. So 14th overall in my age category. I've had quite a few silvers now on the duathlon. Last year just missing out when Alex Doherty turned up, who's won the world's standard duathlon overall as well, so that was unfortunate. And then this year, unfortunately, I had Donald Brooks turned up, who, those of you who don't know, he went 8:35 at Kona for last year, I think it was, or the year before, to win his age group, and finished pretty high up overall, actually. So yeah, he's a pretty incredible guy. I can't remember how old he is, 47, 48 maybe, but yeah, I think he was 7th overall. I actually held him on the bike to within 10 seconds, but he was running a lot better than me, actually, so I was quite pleased that, although from what I've read he's had a bit of food poisoning from the Ironman World Champs in Nice, has not fully recovered, but he seemed to be running well. And looking at his social posts, he sort of says he doesn't race too well in the cold, so maybe that was perhaps why I was a bit closer on the bike. But I think he was at least a few minutes up the road from me, maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes, just mainly due to transitions and the 2 run splits. But yeah, all in all, pretty pleased. A couple of weeks back into training, quickest bike split on that course, so can't really grumble. So hopefully I've got another duathlon in November, which is the trials for the World Champs in Abu Dhabi next year, which I haven't done a race this year yet, so I need to get down to Devon to do that. So hopefully I have a good spin out there. And then I'm looking for, got my bike fit with Matt Bottrell, my yearly bike fit with him, late November, to see what gains we can find on the old bike, which has been a big impact this year that's made, as well as just riding 10 watts better than what I was last year. So yeah, so look forward to it. Hey, that was a good little debrief for you. I've had a few of you come up to me at races now saying you like you watch the content, so really appreciate that. I haven't got too many people that follow the channel, but it's actually really nice when some people come up and say they're motivated by some of the stuff, and yeah, I just find it quite interesting. So yeah, I'm glad those of you that are watching are appreciating it. And yeah, I'm just in the beautiful Cotswolds at the moment, and going to get the rest of this run in, a few more days training, and hopefully see some of you on the start line soon. Bye for now.